Welcome to the Time Capsule, where we dig into the past to uncover the stories that shape our world today. Today, we're embarking on an epic adventure to answer a big question. How did cultures evolve over time? Picture this. From cave paintings to skyscrapers, from oral tales to TikTok trends, human culture has been on a wild ride across millennia. So grab your imaginary time travel gear and let's explore the incredible tapestry of human culture. How it's changed, why it's changed, and what it means for us today. Ready? Let's go. First, what is culture? It's the heartbeat of a society. The beliefs we hold, the customs we follow, the art we create, and the way we live. But here's the thing. Culture isn't set in stone. It's alive, shifting with every new idea, invention, and encounter. In this video, we'll travel from the dawn of humanity to the digital age, uncovering the forces that have shaped cultures across the globe. And trust me, it's going to be a fascinating ride. Let's kick things off with the basics. Cultural evolution is how human societies change over time, not through genes like biological evolution, but through ideas, behaviors, and innovations. Think of it like a recipe that keeps getting tweaked. Someone adds a new ingredient, shares it with a neighbor, and soon everyone's cooking a slightly different dish. There are three main ways this happens: innovation, diffusion, and selection. Innovation is when someone comes up with something new, like inventing the wheel or writing a song. Diffusion is when that idea spreads, like how the alphabet hopped from culture to culture. And selection? That's when certain ideas stick around because they're useful or just plain catchy. For example, the concept of zero popped up in India and Mesopotamia, spread through trade and stuck because, well, math's a lot harder without it. So, cultural evolution is this dynamic dance of creativity and connection. But how did it all start? Let's rewind the clock to the very beginning. Imagine you're living 40,000 years ago. No cities, no phones, just you, your small band of family and friends, and the wide-open wilderness. This was the world of hunter-gatherers, our earliest ancestors. These folks roamed the land, hunting animals and gathering plants, always on the move with the seasons. Life was simple but rich. Societies were small, maybe 20 to 50 people, and pretty egalitarian. No kings or bosses. Decisions were made together. Knowledge was passed down through stories and songs, memorized and shared around the fire. And then there's the art. Have you heard of the Lascaux caves in France? These stunning paintings, deer, horses, hunters, cover the walls, drawn with charcoal and ochre. They're not just pretty pictures. They tell us these people had spiritual beliefs, maybe rituals to honor the animals they depended on. Language was basic but growing, letting them coordinate hunts and share tales. This was the foundation of culture, small, mobile, and deeply tied to nature. But something big was about to change everything. Fast forward to around 10,000 BCE. In places like the Fertile Crescent, modern-day Middle East, people started to figure out they could grow their own food. Wheat, barley, goats, sheep. This was the agricultural revolution, and it flipped human life upside down. Here's why it mattered. Farming meant food surpluses. You didn't have to chase your dinner anymore. You could settle down, build a hut, and store grain for lean times. Settlements grew into villages, then cities. Populations boomed because more food meant more people could survive. And with that stability came specialization. Some folks became potters, others priests, others warriors. Suddenly, society had layers. To keep track of all this, grain, taxes, trade, people invented writing. In Mesopotamia, they scratched cuneiform onto clay tablets. In Egypt, they painted hieroglyphs on papyrus. Writing wasn't just for bookkeeping. It let them record myths, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, a wild tale of a king seeking immortality. Religion got organized, too, with massive temples like ziggurats rising into the sky. Trade kicked off, connecting distant lands. Picture this, a merchant swapping Mesopotamian pottery for Egyptian linen, Ideas traveled too. The wheel, metalworking, even religious beliefs. The agricultural revolution wasn't just about food. It was the spark that lit up complex cultures. By 3000 BCE, these settled societies blossomed into full-blown civilizations. Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, China, even Mesoamerica, each built something incredible. Let's take a quick world tour. In Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, cities like Uruk thrived. They gave us cuneiform and the first legal codes, like Hammurabi's eye for an eye. Egypt, along the Nile, built pyramids, massive tombs for pharaohs seen as gods. Their hieroglyphs told stories of the afterlife. Over in the Indus Valley, cities like Harappa had plumbing, yes, indoor toilets, showing a focus on cleanliness and planning. In China, the Shang dynasty used oracle bones, turtle shells cracked with heat, to predict the future while laying the groundwork for Chinese writing. And across the ocean, the Olmec in Mesoamerica carved giant stone heads, hinting at a rich, mysterious culture. These civilizations traded ideas and goods. The wheel rolled from Mesopotamia to India. Bronze smelting spread across continents. They weren't isolated. They were part of a growing web of human culture. Now, let's zoom into the Mediterranean around 1200 BCE. Greece and Rome. These names echo through history. In Greece, city-states like Athens birthed democracy, where citizens voted on laws. Thinkers like Socrates and Plato asked big questions. What's justice? What's truth? Their ideas still shape how we think today. Art flourished too. Think marble statues and epic poems like Homer's Iliad. And don't forget the Olympics, a festival of sport and culture that's still going strong. Then came Alexander the Great, spreading Greek culture, or Hellenism, across Asia, blending it with local traditions. Rome took it further. They borrowed Greek gods, art, and ideas, then added their own flair, roads, aqueducts, and a legal system that influences laws today. The Roman Empire swallowed up diverse cultures, from Britain to North Africa, mixing them into a melting pot. Latin became a lingua franca, a bit like English today. Classical antiquity wasn't just about Europe, though. In India, the Maurya Empire spread Buddhism. In China, the Han Dynasty perfected silk-making and Confucian philosophy. Cultures were evolving, connecting, and setting the stage for the next chapter. After Rome fell in 476 CE, Europe entered the Middle Ages. Think knights, castles, and feudalism, a system where lords ruled over peasants. Christianity shaped everything, laws, art, even time, with monks ringing bells for prayer. Gothic cathedrals, with their soaring arches and stained glass, were marvels of faith and engineering. But while Europe regrouped, the Islamic world shone. From the 8th century, the Islamic Golden Age brought advances in math, like algebra, astronomy, and medicine. Scholars in Baghdad preserved Greek texts, adding their own insights. Meanwhile, the Silk Road buzzed with trade, silk from China, spices from India, ideas from everywhere. Other cultures thrived too. Vikings raided and traded across Europe, their sagas echoing Norse mythology. In the Americas, the Maya perfected astronomy, tracking stars with eerie precision. The Middle Ages weren't dark. They were a mosaic of cultures adapting and innovating. By the 14th century, Europe woke up with a jolt, the Renaissance. It was a cultural reboot, a love letter to Greece and Rome. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci painted masterpieces like the Mona Lisa while sketching flying machines. Michelangelo sculpted David, a symbol of human potential. Shakespeare wrote plays that still make us laugh and cry. Then came the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries. Thinkers like Newton and Voltaire championed reason and science over blind tradition. The printing press, invented by Gutenberg, spread these ideas like wildfire. Books weren't just for monks anymore. The age of exploration kicked off too. Columbus, Magellan, and others sailed into the unknown. linking Europe with the Americas, Africa, and Asia. It wasn't all rosy. Colonization brought devastation, but it also sparked cultural exchange. Potatoes from Peru fed Europe, horses from Spain transformed Native American life. Zoom to the 18th century. Smoke rises, machines hum. The Industrial Revolution changed the game. Steam engines and factories churned out goods, pulling people into cities. London, Manchester, New York, urban life exploded. Social structures shifted too. Factory workers formed unions, demanding rights. Culture adapted fast. Novels like Dickens' Oliver Twist captured the grit of industrial life. Education spread as literacy became a must. Meanwhile, railroads and telegraphs shrank the world, speeding up cultural exchange. Fashion, food, ideas, everything moved quicker. Technology wasn't just practical, it shaped art. Photography captured reality in ways paintings never could. This was a time of upheaval and creativity, paving the way for the modern world. Welcome to the 20th and 21st centuries, a roller coaster of change. 2 world wars shook cultures to their core, inspiring art like Picasso's Guernica and movements for peace. Decolonization saw African and Asian nations reclaim their heritage, blending tradition with modernity. Globalization tied us together. Hollywood films, Bollywood dances, K-pop beats, they're everywhere. The internet, born in the late 20th century, turbocharged this. Today, a kid in Tokyo can watch a video from Brazil in seconds. Social media lets us share and shape culture instantly. But it's not all blending. Indigenous cultures fight to preserve their languages and ways of life. It's a tug of war between connection and identity, and it's still unfolding. So what drives all this? Let's break it down. Environment. Climate shifts forced hunter-gatherers to farm. Technology. The printing press and internet rewrote how we communicate. Social change, revolutions and empires reshaped norms. And interactions, trade, migration, even war, mixed cultures together. Take the Silk Road. It carried silk, spices, and Buddhism across continents. Or the Columbian Exchange. Corn and tomatoes went west, wheat and horses east. These exchanges weren't always peaceful, but they transformed how we live. Today, cultures face big questions. Globalization can blur lines. Will we all end up the same? Climate change threatens traditional ways, from Arctic fishing to Pacific Island life. Yet, there's hope. Movements to revive languages like Hawaiian or Welsh show cultures' resilience. What's next? Artificial intelligence might create art or rewrite social norms. Space travel could birth entirely new cultures. What do you think? How will culture evolve in 50 years? Drop your ideas in the comments.